There's more to coffee than just grinding the beans, pouring it into a cup, and adding milk and sugar. For Ben Schellack, owner of OQ Coffee in Highland Park, he wants people to learn what a good cup of coffee really tastes like through a series of coffee cupping classes he's offering.
I'm Ben Schellack. I'm the owner of OQ. Started it in 2010, and at that point was roasting, doing just wholesale. Now we also own a retail store. Coffee cupping is a formal process of tasting different coffees right next to each other to try to perceive small differences between different coffees. And the differences you can be looking for are in flavor, but they can be based on a number of different factors. I think what a lot of people find surprising is that coffee is a beverage, but it comes from a seed, which people call a bean, and that seed comes from a tree, and it comes from the fruit of that tree. And so just like any other agricultural product, wine's the most famous, coffee's flavor will really change depending on where that tree is grown and how it's treated while it's grown by nature and by people. And so we cup coffees to try to distinguish those flavors in a really careful way. Yeah, our overall purpose as a company one of them is to create in New Jersey a much stronger coffee culture. And part of that, we believe, is having people be more educated on where coffee comes from and what influences how it tastes and how it's priced. And one of the things that we think is really important is transparency in that whole process. And so we've designed a series of coffee tastings, which we call coffee cuppings, in order to increase people's understanding of coffee from where it comes from all the way up to the cup that people are buying. And so the first class that we're doing is focusing on coffee tree types, focusing on where coffee comes from at its most elemental and basic level. Because ultimately coffee is meant to be drunk, it's meant to be tasted by people, so how it tastes is kind of the end factor that sort of directs everything else. And the things that come out in a tasting where you taste a bunch of tree types, to me, and I hope to people who come in and taste it, even if they don't have a vocabulary for coffee and describing it, they can at least say, well, wow, that tasted really different, or I really like that, I don't like that.
I think if you're unsure if you like coffee outside of like a Dunkin' Donuts or a Starbucks, you have to do a coffee cupping so that you can actually see what kind of good coffees are out there and kind of brighten your horizons a bit.